What is up, y'all? This is your girl GC the Trader, and we are back with another breakdown. Today is Wednesday, November, let me see, 5th. Okay, and yeah, we already know Wacky Wednesdays. The markets not wasn't necessarily crazy today, but yeah, they were typical for Wednesday market, but I definitely seen a lot of traders was able to make some money today, and I wanted to be one of those traders, even though I normally don't trade on Wednesdays, but I wanted to give it a try today, see if I'll catch some setups. Um, Caught a great trade on my paper account, and also caught a L on my paper account. So those are the two trades we're going to break down today. No, those were not on my funded accounts. I did not go live today. I wanted to. I had my accounts open and everything, but after news, yeah, nothing was really happening after news for me for my setup. But I'm just gonna break down today on how I loaded up my charts, what zones I marked up for today, and yeah, let's get to it. So what you can see on the screen is this is what I was looking at, this area right here for today. And this is normally when I stop looking at the charts, which is 12 o'clock New York. So when I came into the charts initially, this is what I saw on up until, let me see, on up until about right here. I normally start looking at the charts at 6 a.m. New York, 5 a.m. my time. So this is all that was really showing uh, when I woke up and started looking at the charts. So I marked up this hour key level. I saw that price did respect it for briefly a minor resistant area right here. So I marked this up. I saw price broke past that, created a new support level right here. And then after price created this new support level right here, it started to range a little bit after it created a nice strong resistance that held on up until it held on until about New York Open. Yeah, I think the market open I think actually broke us past this resistant area, but this area right here, this resistant area actually held for quite some time. So after I saw that price was holding right here at this resistance area, after I marked this up, I was like, okay, price gave us a high, then it came back and gave us a lower low. All right, then it created a lower high. Then price was ranging in this area. Now, I did initially have this zone, this resistance area marked up right there. Originally, I did have that marked up, but when I saw that price broke out of that, created a new support area, I just adjusted it down here because now price is letting me know that I now want to move in between these two zones. So I still kept this zone up because this was a strong resistance area. So go down to my lower time frame. So as you can see, this is why I initially had that resistant area marked up, because within the 15 minute, you could see that for some time, this resistant area was holding. It hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times before price even thought about breaking through. So this was a very strong zone. So I was like, okay, even though it made a lower low, I was like, when price breaks up out of this area right here, it could either create another lower low, or it can create a lower high and continue up. And when it broke out of that resistant area, that's exactly what it did. It created a lower high, and this lower high was initially the 1 hour zone that gave price the momentum to finally break through this resistance area. So I knew it was a lot of buyers right here ready to get price going back to the upside. So within my 15 minute, When I saw, let me move this out the way. Okay, let me see. Okay, on my 15 minute, as you can see, price broke up out of here and made a new resistance level. So when it made that new resistance level, I still had this zone marked up, and the only reason why I did is because it was a lot of sellers here. But when price broke through, they told me that it's not a lot of sellers here. That when price broke through, I was like, okay, the sellers may be weakening. But when I initially saw price make a higher high and then start coming back down, I held this zone just to see, to make sure if the sellers were really gone, and now we're back in buys. And when price failed to go past this zone, it just wicked past this zone. And when I saw this happening on the 1 hour, when I saw this happening, it was this candle right here. Candle right here, the candle that price broke through that strong resistance area. I was like, okay, when this initial move started to happen, when price started to drop down and retrace, I was like, okay, when buyers did break through this resistance area, I'm pretty sure I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure it was some stop losses right there. I was like, okay, so if price did want to collect liquidity one more time before it went to the upside, I dropped down to my 15 minute, and I was like, okay, what area down here will price be comfortable enough with dropping down here to use as a nice support area to go back up? So I saw this 15-minute bullish order block right here. So I was like, okay, I like that. I dropped down to my 5 minute, and I was like, okay, it also lines up with a 5 minute bullish order block. I was like, all right, cool, we could do that. So, but then I realized that this move was happening 30 minutes before a red folder, and I normally don't trade right before red folders. Um, but on my Theedgefunder account, you can't trade 5 minutes before a red folder or 5 minutes after a red folder. So I didn't know how long this trade would play out because I'm normally getting in on my 5 minute but managing the trade from my 15 minute. So I didn't know exactly how long price was gonna take to get to the TP area I had, which was another 1 hour key level that I had previously marked up. So I didn't initially know how long it was going to take price to get there, because I was like, okay, it could take two candles, and if that's candles, that's 30 minutes already. So when this move initially happened, I was not thinking that. So I was like, well, let me just take it on my paper account to see if it would even play out. So I took it, and but it was too late. The trade was already gone. I was too high up in profit before I realized it. So I didn't even worry about it. I just kept holding on my paper account, and I was like, okay, this played out perfectly. Would have been $291. I was like, hey, I would have hit my base on my Theedgefunder, and I would have hit my base on my top step. So I was like, oh yeah, everything would have been cool. Everything would have been great. And I was like, all right, well, if price wicks past this key level and come back down, the next demand zone price gives me, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna mark that up, and I'm gonna take a trade off of it on both of my accounts. So I had my Theedgefunder up, had my other funded account up, and I was like, all right, let's get to it. So I initially had this 5 minute zone right here marked up. Let me see. Yeah, right here. I initially had this 5 minute zone marked up. And I had these resistant and support areas on my 15 minute, because if I do decide I want to stay trading on my 5 minute, I do start looking at my 15 minute just to see if it lines up on my 15 minute. And if you went back to my hour, it was some wick areas here, so it did line up on all three time frames. So I was okay with trading from my 15 minute for my 5 minute entry. So I stayed on my 5 minute chart, and I had this zone marked up. And when price initially gave me that push, I was excited. I was ready. When price did this tap, I was like, all right, great. If price can close above this candle right here, I was like, if price can close above that candle, or at least wick high enough above that candle, I was gonna get into the trade. But when it initially came back and closed, I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna just wait for more confirmation. And I originally had forgot that I already had a pre entry right here already set up on my paper account, because I was already looking at the area and I had it marked up on here, and I was about to get ready to mark it up on my other accounts. But when I noticed price did that, I forgot to remove the order from my paper account. And when price wicked, it wicked me into the trade, so I just held it on my paper account. I was only willing to risk $50 for today. It was Wednesday. So I originally was risking, I think, 75, but I end up adjusting it up to the $50 because I think initially my stop loss was right here, and I was gonna take it up to this key level right here. But I adjusted out of it, especially when it kept taking a while to go back above my entry point. That's when I adjusted it to $50, and I was like, all right, if it is a bad trade, I'm cool with losing $50 on my paper account, especially after I already had a win on the account. But it ended up tapping me out the trade, and when this move happened, which it was still within this it was still within this 5 minute demand I had marked up. But as you can see, I would have had to sit in the trade for a very long time with my stop loss down here, my entry point up here, and I was ranging in the red. So I wouldn't have been comfortable with sitting in a trade where I was ranging in the red for that long. So I definitely probably would have got out of the trade at break even, or would have just took a L if I was actually in that trade live, or kept my stop loss where it was when I would enter it into my paper account. So when I seen price make this, I was like, okay, it's still a good zone because it's still held. But then I saw the time that it happened, and by that time, I'm gonna be real with y'all, I was mentally burned out from looking at the charts. So I was just like, it's okay. I'll just take today as a no trade day. I said I was gonna sit this Wednesday out anyways, but I decided to trade live. But hey, market just wasn't giving me a setup when I wanted, because initially when this move happened, I had this zone marked up, and I was like, if price can come back down and tap me in, I'm gonna get in the trade, and then I'm just gonna get out before 12. But it never came down to tap my zone. So because it never came down to tap my zone, I just closed up my funded accounts and just took it as a no trade day for today. But I definitely could have took a move off of that, but as you can see, this is well outside of my trading zone. So yeah, if I was holding, it definitely would have played out because it's going to that key level up there, but it just didn't play out in the time I needed it to play out. So today was a no trade day for me, but I did take a few trades on my paper account, as you can see. So I did get some good data. You get what I'm saying? The markets wasn't too crazy, but it was typical Wednesday market to make a big move and then start ranging for the rest of the session. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. If y'all traded today, I hope y'all got some good setups. I hope y'all protected y'all capital. It is Wednesday. We know how the market be sometimes. So with that being said, thank you. I appreciate y'all for tuning in.